Yo, der Herr wieder am Start. Today, we are going to have another discussion video about Series 13 because I want to build the best anti-meta teams in the meta, or I guess anti-meta. Maybe I will accidentally even come up with something meta, like Colossal, for example, looking at all my strategies. If you guys don't remember or maybe you don't know, I already made quite some videos discussing anti-meta or maybe potentially even meta strategies on my channel. So if you haven't, dude, 40 clicks, not even bad. If you haven't checked those out, do it and also subscribe. I have noticed that a lot of you people found my videos, but they don't subscribe. And why? Why wouldn't you subscribe? I will bring you guys the best anti-meta content on YouTube. I'll say it. The best anti-meta content on YouTube when it comes to VGC. Definitely. I have been with anti-meta. I've been crazy. I've been top 2 with Melamar in VGC. I don't think I got most of the teams on my PC, but I got to rank 2 with Melamar, boys. And like, I don't have like a team with this like standard, right? Like, I got crazy heat, right? I got to rank 5 with Physical Dakufini. I got to top 10 on Showdown using, wait, this team is actually in my builder. Oh yeah, those are the test teams. This team, top 10 on Showdown, right? So guys, if you wanna see more highlighter content or heat content, subscribe. What are you doing? Why don't you sub? What's going on? Oh yeah, also, sometimes I even come up with like completely new archetypes like in my crazy Kali team, right? But before we think about anti-meta, which actually after this video, I think it was like last night, the video where I talked about the top 31 Series 13 strategies. Dude, I was awake like the whole night, not even kidding. Like I fell like asleep at like 12 a.m. like midday, right? Like in the middle of like the next day, because I thought about crazy strategies. So let me know your guys' crazy strategies as well. I already talked about with my homies and we come up with some insane stuff. I think I will spoil one thing because Moxie Boosted already talked about this in his video, which is Victini with Final Gambit next to Magina, so you get 2 kills and then you can shift gear up or go for a trick room and then go nutty with Magina. So like I said, if you wanna see more of these strategies, subscribe. But before this, we have to figure out how does the meta even look before we can build anti-meta teams. So because of this, I have looked at the best Series 12 teams. Oh boys, I was just editing this and I realized one thing that I haven't really talked about that was really important to talk about actually, but I wanted to talk about is there are gonna be certain archetypes that are gonna be everywhere, right? So one trend I have realized that a lot of people do is they take a team, for example, in Series 11 there was a team with like Dialga, Porygon 2, Ditto, I think Gothitelle as well, and then like Grimmsnarl with like 2 ally switch once or whatever, right? And then like Dialga going crazy, right? And then in Series 12 they took the same team, but they put another restricted on there. I can't remember what it is. I think it was like Calyrex Ice or like Palkia actually. I don't know. And also there was a lot of other archetypes that are really popular in Series 11 where just people slept on another restricted Pokemon. One team that I talked about was actually like Blastoise, Rillaboom, Incineroar, Zacian. Both of these teams, by the way, were absolutely destroyed by my crazy Kali team. Like both of his teams, I think I had a 100% win rate, even on the highlighter, against these kind of teams. But then what happened in Series 12, like people just slept on like an Yveltal, for example, right? And all of a sudden I cannot do anything with my crazy Kali team, right? With this team as well, I don't know what they put on, but definitely something, I think it was a Zacian actually that they put on. Something that completely ruined my strategies, right? So this is something that we're gonna see in Series 13 even more. People that use teams that are already proven to be good and also quite popular, just slap on more restricted Pokemon, like change out, let's say, I'm not even sure what we would change out right here. Let's say they change out like Porygon for like an ally switch, let's say Solgaleo or something, we can also get Trick Room, right? or Necrozma, for example. This is something that you're gonna see a lot of, which is really important to think about, because a lot of people that play VGC, they don't step out of their comfort zone, right? They just do what's popular, they just do what they have been successful with or whatever, right? So they will do the exact same thing again. This is a lot what the early meta is gonna look like a lot, right? Teams that are really used in Series 12 and really good in Series 12, just again, but with more restricted Pokemon, which honestly I can absolutely wait for this. But luckily early meta is gonna have me covered because of new toy syndrome. People are gonna try out all the new things, and then we're just gonna fall back into the old habits, and we're gonna see Series 12 even worse all over again. So this is from the last ranked season from Series 12. You can see a lot of Japanese tryhards prepping for Worlds. This is from near VGC. So let's see. What do we have here? I cannot see the team. Okay. So we see Zashi and Ogre, Zashi and Ogre, Zashi and Ogre, Zashi and Ogre. Incineroar Rillaboom, Incineroar Rillaboom, Incineroar Rillaboom, Incineroar Rillaboom. Okay. Yeah. Alrighty, boys. Let's see. So we see one Trick-Room team, which is kind of nutty, with the Ditto and the Gothitelle. This looks like another variation of this, like Dialga team from Series 11. Then we got some Zashi and Yveltal teams. This is actually the one from Neil where he made the video on. On the other team we see Raichu and like Landorus as well and stuff. Interesting. And then two more Zashi and Ogre teams. Yeah. Alrighty, let's keep this in mind, guys. And now I got some the results from a victory vote, which is pretty much the sweatiest tournament so far, I think. So we see like a mixture between Trick Room and offense, but it's quite bulky, interesting. Zashi and Ogre. Caledon, interesting. That's interesting. Kyogre and Solgaleo. Damn, this must be only the finest of heat, boys. Like if this were a YouTube video like this guy would probably like put like anti-meta like big in the title and thumbnail, boys. Oh my god, this team is so heat crazy. I cannot believe Zashi and Ogre. Yveltal Ogre. Sun, Zashi and Ogre. Another Sun team. Zashi and Ogre. Colossal team. Wow. Crazy. Alrighty, boys. Alrighty. And next up, I got a screenshot from Zach's video. If you guys don't know Zach, look him up. So, this is from the tournament. I actually forgot what it's called and it's quite blurry, unfortunately. Well, who cares? So, this is actually the one where you were allowed to use like one mythical Pokemon and apparently an infinite number of restricted as well. And what do we see? Zacian Ogre, Zacian Ogre, Zacian Ogre, Zacian Ogre, Zacian Ogre, Zacian Volcanion, Zacian Ogre. Whimsicott in every team, oh my god. Alrighty, boys, so yeah, the meta is gonna be very fun. Let's talk about it. Let's go to the team builder. So let's build, first of all, let's build the most standard Series 13 team that's gonna be out there. We're gonna have Zacian, we're gonna have Kyogre, and then we're gonna have Whimsicott. As you guys saw, the best core, right? So next up, what do we have? First of all, I think one thing is gonna be really interesting. I think this is the first thing I want to talk about. Supportive Pokemon, like Incineroar and Rillaboom, they're gonna fall off in usage. I absolutely think so. Because why do you use Incineroar and Rillaboom? Use them A, to beat restricted, like Zacian or Kyogre, or B, to support your restricted, for example, with Fake Out, so you can Fake Out cycle around your Zacian, for example, right? So that way the opponent never gets a shot to hit with Zacian, after Zacian removes the Dynamax, right? But why would you use an Incineroar to beat Zacian when you can beat a Groudon to beat Zacian? Or a Charizard, for example, which can get a Wildfire, right? Why would you use a Rillaboom to beat Kyogre when you could use Zekrom to beat Kyogre? Or, like, who else beats Kyogre? Is there any grass type which is, like, restricted? I don't think there's a good one. Look, doesn't look like it. But you get the point, right? Like, why wouldn't you just do Sekrom or someone else, right? So this is, I think, one thing that people are slowly gonna realize. Yes, obviously there are Pokemon that are gonna be good in this format, but I think Pokemon are gonna be more like Gothitelle, which can really do something that restricted Pokemon cannot do. There are a lot of restricted Pokemon that are incredibly bulky, can take a hit, and there are gonna be a lot of restricted Pokemon that can actually one-shot things, right? So I don't think like all of these support Pokemon are gonna be very common. I know this is quite unpopular, but think about it. You can use Zacian, Kyogre, Calyrex Shadow, Yveltal, Reshiram, whatever, Calyrex Ice, Palkia on the same team. Why would you put an Incineroar or a Rillaboom on there? Obviously, Incineroar, I think actually Incineroar will still be quite good. Looking at all the steel types, look at this. Wait, sorry. So Melmetal is there, Zacian is there, Dialga is there, Magearna is gonna be there, Solgaleo and Necrozma probably as well. So obviously Incineroar is still gonna be very good, but honestly, I think Bronzong is gonna be way better because this guy gets Levitate, he gets Iron Defense, like Body Press, and he can also one Gyro Ball to Dynamax on Trick Room, right? And then obviously you can also reverse the Trick Room or give him Hypnosis or something. Bronzong is gonna be way better, I think. Bronzong is gonna be very progressive this format, since it also doesn't really care about Zacian. So that's gonna be my first prediction. My second prediction, Grimmsnarl, is gonna fall off. Yeah. Oh yeah, what I forgot to say, if you go to Picalytics, not for BDS Speedo, Series 12, if you go to Picalytics, we can see, bro, oh my god, Picalytics.com. Bro, my parents still got the safety settings enabled from like, oh my god, I don't know. Maybe I can go to like T-Builder and then from here to, okay. How can I now go to the, okay, I managed it. Dude, this is annoying me so much. My parents don't know how to make like me an admin on my own PC because it used to be the ones for my parents, right? And for some reason I wasn't allowed to use Picalytics because it's a naughty website apparently, and I don't have a phone anyways for some doesn't make sense, whatever. So even though Kyogre is on 36% of all the teams, and Incineroar is still 70% usage, which is crazy in my opinion. I would not use a bulky pivot Pokemon which gets one shot literally every game, like what the hell. But this is why I think Incineroar isn't properly gonna drop, even though Kyogre is gonna be way more prominent. And when I go into why a bit later as well, even though it's mostly obvious. Why do I think Grimmsnarl will drop? Well, why do you use Grimmsnarl? You use Grimmsnarl because you got like one or two restricted Pokemon that you wanna make way more bulky, right? You saw Grimmsnarl on Visage and Ogre teams, for example, because Kyogre with an Assault Vest and screens incredibly bulky. Zacian with screens and like max HP, like why wouldn't you just do this, right? Incredibly bulky, like just like some speed, some attack or whatever, right? Probably one with amount of attack and then enough speed to outrun like things at +1, whatever, and then can put the rest into bulk or whatever. I actually think I had like a set similar to this, which I used a lot. But yeah, Grimmsnarl, you support like your one or two mythical Pokemon, right? Same with Whimsicott. And I think both of these Pokemon are still gonna be amazing. But another hot take, people are gonna realize, this is gonna take a long time, but people are gonna realize using these monsters a lot of the time not worth it. Why is this? Why? Well, think about it. You can have a restricted Pokemon. I know I'm gonna say this a lot, but truth is, Tailwind and screens amazing. You can really win games because of Tailwind and screens, and especially if opponents are gonna have Tailwinds and screens, they're gonna be like, damn, if I had screens, I wouldn't have a disadvantage. Or if I had Tailwind, I wouldn't have a disadvantage. But think about it. You can have 4 restricted Pokemon. Do you really think you need one Pokemon that gets one shot turn 1 to set up your Tailwind to win the game? Most of the time, no. Because the opposing restricted Pokemon are probably gonna be so bulky that you don't get a lot of mileage out of the Tailwind turns, right? Same with screens. If the opponent's restricted Pokemon are already so bulky, and don't need the screens when you don't get a lot of mileage out of the screens, right? This is something I realized like extremely late in Series 11. As you guys know, I was absolutely cracked in Series 11 and I got to top 10. And I also used like some crazy anti-meta team, like for example, I used Hail with Obama Snow and Arctozol to get to like top 200 on the VGC ladder and stuff, right? Like I said, subscribe if you haven't already, if you wanna see these things and don't miss out on this, right? But one thing I realized is when the opponents had like teams that looked like wait that looked like this, for example, right? Let's say Zacian, Rillaboom, like Incineroar, like Gastrodon, and then what else did they have? Well, let's just say they just bring these Pokemon, right? So now let's say I set up a Tailwind so that way I cannot speed their Zacian. So this means I have one Pokemon. Or let's put in Grimmsnarl as well, just so you guys think, like, just so you guys know that screens are gonna be in play as well, right? So let's say I set up a Tailwind, so that way my Fundurus cannot speed their Zacian, for example, right? Not worth it. Not worth it, right? And I feel like we're gonna see a lot of these like really bulky teams late in the meta, because at this point people have figured out how to beat like Final Gambit plus Magina strategies, right? Like the best of one sheets, people have already figured out how to beat the best of one sheets, which will lead to very bulky teams. This is gonna be my next prediction, very, very bulky teams. At the start of the meta, everything is gonna one-shot everything. But then people realize having to win like 3 speed times every single game because your Zacian is max speed, your Calyrex Shadow is max speed, your Yveltal is max speed, maybe even your Zeraora in the early meta is gonna be max speed. Like having to win like 10 speed tiles in the same game probably not gonna be worth it. Maybe just take a hit and kill the Pokemon in return, which is funnily enough what Neil VGC also did in his team, which he got to top 30, so that's amazing. That's probably gonna be a bit more consistent than having to rely on speed tiles every single game, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but I wanna have a win rate which is above 50% personally. Yeah, that's gonna be my next predictions. We support Pokemon are still gonna be amazing, but not as amazing. I think it's gonna be better to just have a full-on stacked team with a crazy restricted Pokemon, right? Next up, Fundurus. Don't think it's gonna be good. Trust me, guys. I love myself some Fundurus, but a Fundurus really just gets held back even if there's one restricted Pokemon that Fundurus doesn't go well up against, right? For example, if there's one Zacian, there's already a thing that you cannot, that kind of stops you. Same with Groudon, same with Dialga, same with whatever, right? Palkia. My god, Shedinja is more used than Eternatus, what the hell? Dude, I love Shedinja, bro. Oh yeah, next up, Shedinja is gonna be busted. Because it's everyone's, especially late in the meta, where everyone just uses like these restricted ones, right? Bro, how can these Pokemon all have like this low usage, bro? Like there's literally no heat in this meta. It just proves my point, right? But that's fine. Next up, next prediction for the meta game. Most of you guys should know this, but new toy syndrome, right? People are gonna use all of these restricted Pokemon, like I don't know, I guess Magina and like Volcanion and stuff are gonna be like, just like me, oh my god, this is so broken, I couldn't wait to use this. But then we realize, oh, Landorus just one-shot my Volcanion. Whoops. We will realize, oh, Assault Vest Kyogre took nothing from my Solar Beam and just two-shot me with Max Lightning. Whoops. They're gonna realize, oh, my Magina, wait, check this out, actually. Oh, wait. Check this out. Let's just put in a blank Magina set. Zacian. 252 attack. Behemoth Blade. One shot. This is an S tier mythical, boys. Magina. You have to run bulk in order to not get one shot by a Zacian. And now think about what will happen to Zarude when it finds a Zacian. think about what happens to I don't know, Melmetal. Wanna see the Melmetal calc, boys? Let's say it's Assault Vest, right? Let's make an element just for fun. There's no way people want 116 attack because that's way too much. Double Iron Bash doesn't kill, Earthquake doesn't kill. And that's like, high horsepower also doesn't kill, obviously, if Earthquake doesn't kill, right? Oh, this is level 50 kikes, you get the idea, right? And now look at how much Sacred Sword will do. Oh, 2-hit KO. Yeah, Zacian beats like all of these mythicals. So guys, Zacian is gonna be way better than it was ever before. Next up, Kyogre. Think of all the steel types that people are gonna use. Think about Melmetal, Magina, Zacian. You know who pairs with them? Kyogre. How do you beat Magina, Melmetal, Zacian? Fire and ground types. What beats fire and ground types? Kyogre. Woo! It's gonna be Series 12 all over again. Yeah. Well, that's gonna be fun. Okay, next up, what all the sweaters are gonna do. We're just gonna put Evelta on our team, give this guy an Assault Vest. Ooh. A Snarl. We're gonna put a Cardinal Shadow on the team. We're gonna give this guy Will-O-Wisp. We're gonna put a Porygon 2 on the team. We're gonna give this guy EV Impulse. Wait, EV Impulse. And all of a sudden, nothing on their team dies. They're gonna put like a Solgaleo on their team. We're gonna give this guy Sun Steel Strike, Earthquake. They're gonna pair this guy up like a Grimmsnarl. Like dual screens, like I said. This thing doesn't die. But then also there's an Evelta that doesn't die. And then also there's like a Zekrom or whatever who doesn't die. The format is gonna be hella bulky, I can already tell you. Like people say, oh my god, it's gonna be very fast paced, very hyper offensive. And I disagree, I don't think that's gonna be the case. As you guys know, I'm like hyper offense expert. I'm probably one of the best hyper offense players in the world. Or at least I used to be before I stopped playing the game for half a year because I was so annoyed at these damn bulky ass restricted Pokemon. Yeah, but I'm gonna have a lot of fun in Series 13. Not now. I have at the beginning. I will go over why. Oh, actually, right now, yeah. As the hyper offense expert, I can tell you guys, hyper offense is amazing if you can predict right? But if you wanna predict, well, good luck. Right? And also, if a lot of people, the more people use hyper offense, the worse it gets because the more it's gonna rely on speed ties, right? Think about this. Let's say everyone has a Regieleki on their team. Speed tie. Let's say everyone has a Cardinal Shadow on their team. Speed tie. Let's say everybody has a Fundurus on their team. Speed tie. Let's say everybody has a Zacian on their team. Speed tie. Oh, that's already like half of a Series 12 team. Wow. So this is why I think hyper offense is gonna be not as good, because everyone has to run with super fast Pokemon like Regieleki, like Carnivores, and then teams are gonna depend on speed ties. And yes, you could say, oh, I'm just gonna put a Whimsicott on my team, set up a Tailwind or whatever. Like, sure, go ahead, bro. The opponent's gonna do the same thing. Like, you're not gonna have an advantage. Like, there are only a few Pokemon that are actually gonna be good on hyper offense, right? So this is the first issue. Second issue is, it's very prediction reliant. And like, not everyone is as good as predicting as I am. So people are just gonna use balance in order to outstall Dynamax, in order to, yeah, pretty much outstall the hyper offense, right? And then beat it, because with a few strong hits that balance has, like Behemoth Blade Zacian, to just KO the offensive Pokemon, right? Balance is gonna be way, way better, I'm telling you. Especially like late format, when people realize that hyper offense actually isn't the thing, right? This is my next prediction. Okay. Last prediction. Zamazenta, Nutty, Lunala. Those things are gonna see a huge spike in usage. Why? again, if you look at Pikalytics, we see Groudon, Kyogre, very, very popular. So weather teams, incredibly popular, right? And I think those are gonna be even more popular because why wouldn't you put a Kyogre on your team to beat the opposing Groudon, right? Why wouldn't you put a Venusaur on your team to beat the opposing Kyogre, right? Like weather teams, like if you can slap weather on your team, like why wouldn't you do it? This is such a huge advantage that you have over the opponent, right? Like like even if you put one Pokemon on the team, that already means you have a better matchup against opposing weather. And opposing weather is gonna be so broken because like I said, all of these restricted Pokemon are gonna be very bulky because there's gonna be a lot of power creep. And you know what ignores power creep? Wildfire. You know what also ignores power creep? Vinelash. People are gonna realize this kind of stuff pretty early on, I think. Maybe it will take them a while. If I wanna beat like these balance kind of teams, Wildfire and stuff is gonna be really, really nice. So weather teams are gonna go crazy, and well, these Pokemon don't necessarily beat weather teams, right? I also think Rayquaza is actually gonna be quite nice. At least I wanna use the Rayquaza because it's the only restricted Pokemon that I have never gotten the Master Rank ribbon on. I have used Rayquaza before on a really amazing team by Randstreifen Sahaka, but it wasn't my own Rayquaza, so I still don't have the nice ribbon on my Rayquaza. But why do I think these Pokemon are gonna be great? White Guard. But not only White Guard, because obviously people are gonna Dynamax by Groudon and by Kyogre, right? This is mostly gonna be because of coaching, of Snarl. This is mostly gonna be because of Trick Room. So why do I say this? I mean, honestly, it should be quite obvious that if you have so many restricted Pokemon, you still want supportive restricted Pokemon, right? Because obviously, if you could just have Pokemon that hit each other all the time, that's also just gonna be a 50-50, like in Pokemon Unite, right? If you just hit each other all the time, it's just gonna be a 50-50 who dies first, right? Or who gets Zapdos first, for example, or Dratner, right? So what you wanna do is you wanna find a way, for example, to use, like, if you actually, I don't know how many of you play Pokemon Unite, but I'm quite pissed off at Pokemon Unite at the moment because I have such bad teammates all the time. But whatever, that's another story, right? For example, like Blissey, you could just use Blissey to heal up your Cinderace, which can like range attack and kill everybody, right? Like, why wouldn't you use a coaching Zamazenta to coach up your Groudon and also snarl the opposing Kyogre so that way it does no damage and also White Guard, right? In order to support Groudon. Well, the reason is if you only have two restricted Pokemon on your team, like obviously you're not gonna use a supportive restricted Pokemon, right? And people said this about like Series 12, that these supportive restricted ones are gonna be way more popular. But I actually think, especially in the late meta, these restricted Pokemon are gonna pop off. Like, how the hell do you beat a Zamazenta which doesn't die to anything and then supports the team with like coaching? If you don't have enough damage into it, which you won't because it's gonna snarl, it's gonna coaching, you're probably gonna get intimidated as well. Like, what's Kyogre gonna do to an Assault Vest Groudon at +2 attack, right? Like, the hell are you gonna do? So I feel like this is gonna be very nice. Lunala is also gonna be a really nice Trick Room counter because it can counter Trick Room, can White Guard with Slash Lances, it can like Meteor Beam the Incineroar, it can Expanding Force the Amogus, it can be extremely annoying. Look at the special attacks that go like people are gonna die left and right to this guy. Like I said, Rayquaza also gonna be really good. It's another Pokemon that suffers from the why should I use a Rayquaza when I can put Zacian Ogre on my team, which won't exist anymore, obviously, right? So yeah, those are gonna be my meta predictions for Series 13. In my next video, I will go over some insane strategies that I and my homies have thought of. Here are some spoilers. Obviously, I spoiled this one already a bit, and this one. Ooh. Faster than Reggie. Just saying. You should subscribe. Und dann haut er rein. Ciao.